Hey everybody, what is up? Fireface Backhouse here, bringing you my episode review for My Hero Academia, episode 5, and it was a really good episode. We basically, we started off basically where we left off last week, but it was basically all of the teachers that were looking at the test results and everything. We seen Bakogu came in first. He had 77 villain points, 0 rescue points. Whereas on the other side of things, Midoriya had 0 villain points. He had 60 rescue points. I'm pretty sure it was the most rescue points out of anybody. At least I'm not sure if it was like out of everybody, but he did have the most out of the top 10 placings and everything. And just thinking about that, yeah, he probably would. The teachers are explaining how it's been a while that like other teachers have done it. Other students have attacked that big, giant robot that they have, but it's been a while since they seen somebody blow it away. Now, what I'm thinking is that probably could have been All Might, and when he was in his school days and everything. But that's just my guess and everything, because they never really do it. And then they notice it's probably because he just manifested his quirk, which is the reason why both of his legs and his arm is broken and everything, because of those serious injuries. And then somebody noted, and then you see it goes to somebody, and he just goes, and then we get the opening song, which is Boss, by the way. I really love it and everything. And then after the song, Midoriya goes to the beach and everything, sees All Might, calls out to All Might, and All Might's like, listen, you gotta repeat this. It wasn't me. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, it was somebody else. And then, he says congratulations to Midoriya, and that he didn't tell any of the teachers or anything about his connection with Midoriya and everything, because Midoriya is the type of person who would view that as cheating. And, All Might wasn't, he also lets him know that he wasn't one of the judges, but that, we saw in last episode that he was watching. So more than likely, I want to say that all of the teachers and all of the staff at UA, more than likely, they all view it, but they probably only select a certain amount, like probably the president, the vice president, and like all the higher up teachers that have been there for years and years and years probably judge it and everything. And then I have my notes here and everything, just because I wanted to write a few things down. He didn't, Midoriya is surprised to find it, was even surprised to find out in the fact that All Might was going to be a teacher and everything, and he says that he couldn't even say anything until the school announced it, and that the whole reason he even came to Japan was because he wanted to find a successor. And Midoriya is like, oh yeah, that's right. He probably wanted to pick somebody at the school who already had an amazing quirk, and then they could have an even better quirk, I guess. I don't know if that works. Obviously, we're going to see there's going to be somebody in the coming up episodes that we will see for anime-only watchers that haven't read the manga. There will be somebody in the show that does have 2 quirks. As of this moment, there's only the one person that has it. I won't give it away or anything. That's kind of like my only spoiler and everything. But yeah, and then he tells him, you know, that it was great that he passed and everything. And, you know, he then explains, you know, right now, you know, you used all for one. You're either at 0% or 100%. So it's kind of, and, you know, he explains that he kind of knew that it was going to happen. It can't be helped. You know, it'd just be like if somebody grew a tail and you're like, start doing tricks with your tail. It'd be impossible to do. But once he's able to control it and everything, he'll be able to use the amount of power that his body can handle it. And the more he trains the vessel, the more he will be able to have the power move through his body freely. You know, the people that, you know, thought that he was All Might at the beginning end up, you know, noticing him. So they end up running. And as they're running, you know, he explains that he passed on the flame to Midoriya. The flame is small, and as it's exposed to wind and rain, it'll grow even bigger, and he, All Might, will slowly become weaker and disappear. Now that's kind of a hint at a little foreshadowing at what's to come later on in the series. I don't know if in these 13, 14 episodes that they're having, if that will be fully explained or not, but that is a little foreshadowing by the stuff that All Might say, you know, and then it goes ahead, I think it's like 3-4 weeks, something like that, but it did say in April, they go to the class, they notice that, you know, we skip ahead to April, Meteor is getting ready to leave, his mom's asking him, did you bring your tissues, do you have your handkerchief, all this other stuff, and he's like, yeah, I got it all, I gotta go. And then as he's getting ready to go, his mom's like, Meteor, you're really cool. And, you know, he gets a little bit emotional. Because remember, his mom did kind of just grab onto him and was crying, saying, I'm sorry. You know, and, you know, he gets there and then he explains something. You know, the hero course, less than 1 in every 300 people, other than the 4 people that are admitted through recommendations, get accepted. And other than that, you know, other than the 4 people that get accepted through recommendations, only 36 people are admitted through the exam, and they're split into 2 classes of 18. So basically the way I see it is 40 people out of maybe 200 survive, you know, get a pass and everything. You know, if there is that many people. And you gotta remember, I forget exactly how many cities they had set up for the tests and everything, and how many people were in the cities, in each city and everything. But I would, you know, 40 people altogether out of, say 40 out of 100 people, there's 40% of those people will make it and everything. You know, and, you know, Meteor notices that the school is huge, the door's huge, he's like, is it even operational? He opens it, and as he's opening, he's like, oh, I hope I'm not in the same class as the scary people, and then, boom. He's in the same class as Bakogu, and Anime Only Watchers viewers, you actually finally get to know his name, and his name is Tenya Idia, and he has the engine quirk, as we find out later on. As you could even see in the first episode, a lot of you people probably thought it had something to do with speed or something, but the quirk is called engine, and he basically, in his cast, he has like airburst technology, something like that. Everything, and yeah, and then he ends up introducing himself to Bakugu and everything, saying get your feet off the desk and everything. And then Iraku ends up showing up. She's like, oh, it's the plain guy with the curly hair, la la, thank you so much, you know, you made it just like Microphone Man said. And she's like, break, break. She was like, your punch was amazing. Break. Break. Started laughing a little bit. And then the teacher, he shows up and he's like, oh, you guys are being too loud. It only took you 8 seconds to shut up. And, you know, his name is Shoto Iizawa. You know, and right as he gets there, he's like, I know this is short-lived and everything, but here, you know, put these on, go outside. So they put on their thing, they go to do a quirk assessment test, you know, as they weren't, you know, it's basically the same things they did in middle school / junior high, but except now that they're at UA, the hero class, they're able to use their quirks with it. So he has Bukogo go first, throws the ball with his explosion quirk, and the ball goes 705.2 on the measuring tool. I only wrote this down for one main reason, and we'll get back to it later when I'm done reviewing this and everything. You know, Iizawa explains that whoever comes in last place in all the 8 tests will be judged to have 0 potential, and they will be punished with being expelled. As, you know, the teachers are free to do whatever they want with the circumstances of their students. And then we get the break and everything. Rock is shocked that, you know, already facing expulsion on the first day. That's not fair. And Iizawa brings up an awesome point. He is a really good character. I really like him in the manga and everything, and his voice actor and everything is pretty good in this. And he explains, you know, natural disasters, big accidents, and selfish villains, calamities whose time or place can't be predicted. Japan is covered with all this unfairness. Heroes are the ones who reverse those situations. UA will do whatever they can in 3 years to give them one hardship or another. So you guys don't be expecting to go eat at Mickey D's with all your friends. I also loved how in the classroom when Bokugu had his feet on the desk, he's telling Idia, what are you, some side character and like basically a comic and everything. I was laughing a little bit. And then we go to the test and everything. First test is the dash. We get Idia's quirk announcement engine, and they're like, basically, he's really fast. And then you see Tsuya Asui with the frog tongue and everything. Basically a frog quirk from the manga. I'm blanking on the official name from it, but I'm pretty sure it's just the frog quirk is what it's called. And then we finally get the name of Araka's quirk. It's 0 gravity. Anything she touches, she can nullify the gravitational pull of those things. And if she overdoes it, she gets nauseous, which is why she threw up in the last episode. The guy with the laser beam belt, his name is Yuga Aogomi. His quirk is the navel laser. He can shoot the laser out of his navel, so his belly button, for 1 second. Anything more, then he starts getting a stomachache. Now, Bokugu's quirk is basically the sweat on his palms and everything is explosive, which is why he's able to do that. And you will find, and he'll explain it a little bit more. It'll go into detail about his quirk and everything. But I don't really think that's a spoiler by letting you guys know exactly how his quirk works. It's his sweat is explosive. And basically, the more of it there is, the bigger the explosion. You know, and you know, we get the tests and everything. Iizawa keeps watching Midoriya. He does his run and everything, and then he's like, you know, everybody else is going to be doing their quirks to do amazing things, and here I am with a quirk that I can't even fully control, and if I try to use it, my body's going to get destroyed. Like, what am I going to do and everything? You know, and then it goes through all the other quirks. You see the grit test. I'm forgetting what his name is with the arms, the octopus dude, but he his was in the latest chapter of it. Never one of the last few latest chapters. You know, and then we do. I didn't write down all the names of the tests in a row because they had 4. Yeah, they were on test 4. Yeah, and then test 3 was the, I want to say, the side-to-side run, and that person was going back and forth with their hair quirk thingy, and then we went back to, it was the actual ball throw time in Uraka. She touched the ball, made it had 0 gravity, threw it into space. Once it's in space, you have no idea where it's going to land, so she got infinite. Midoriya's turn, you know, and Iizawa Sensei believes that, you know, he has no potential. You know, and as he gets to go to throw the ball, he throws it and it falls, and he's like, oh, what the hell? Like, I tried to use it and everything. You know, and then Iizawa's like, yeah, I erased your quirk. And then Midoriya's like, how did you? He notices his glasses. He notices that he was the eraser hero, eraser head. You know, All Might was there too. All Might was all throughout the episode. At one point he was looking at the rule book, and then he figured out that Iizawa was Midoriya's homeroom teacher. He's like, oh man, this kid's gonna be going through some shit if he's got Iizawa as his homeroom teacher. Fuck. Too bad I wasn't his teacher. Oh my. No, I'm just kidding. But then, yeah, somebody in the group is explaining, oh, he's an underground hero. Goes to All Might, and yeah, he's an underground hero, and he explains he doesn't like the media attention because it hinders his work. And then he's like, yes, Midoriya, my boy, me and him, we do not get along at all. No, he does not like me. So, and then Iizawa basically, you know, tells Midoriya, he's like, I'm guessing you can't control your quirk, and asks if he intends to become incapacitated again and have someone save him. Midoriya is like, it's not my intention. Iizawa is like, but whatever your intention is, that's what those around you will be forced to do. You know, in the past, there was an oppressively passionate hero who saved over 1,000 people by himself and created a legend. Obviously, he's talking about All Might there, and he was likely explaining that as, while he was explaining that, in All Might's head, he was like, yes, Midoriya, my boy, he does not like me. You know, and even if Midoriya has the same reckless valor, you know, he'll just be decked, turned into a useless doll after saving just one person. And then he's Izuka Midoriya. His power, he cannot become a hero. That is what Iizawa believes. And then he gives him back his quirk, and he's like, you have 2 chances to throw the ball. Let's see what you got. And yeah, him using, the reason why his eyes are all red and everything is because it's a lot of strain. His main quirk is through his eyes and everything, so there's strain on his eyes and everything, which is why he's vibing. He's not a stoner. Everybody get that out of your mind. He is not a stoner. So then he's like, he's thinking to himself, he's like, he's either gonna go all out and hurt himself again to prove me wrong, or I forget exactly what else he said, I didn't write it down, and then, you know, he's like, no matter what, this kid has 0 potential, and then he's like, what should I do? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. He's talking to himself. All the other students notice that, you know, Iizawa, you know, gave him advice, everything. He goes to throw the ball, and as he throws the ball, it's just off the tip of his finger, he controls it, so he's able to control All for One a little bit. And then he tells Iizawa, Sensei, I'm still standing. And, you know, he definitely earned the respect of Iizawa and All Might there even more. All Might respects him even more. Iizawa finally, you know, has grown to respect him. He believes he does have some potential. He will just have to learn how to control it. And that's basically where the episode ends. Let me know what you thought about this episode of Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academia. I'm gonna give this episode 5 out of 5, mainly because, it's amazing. I love this show, and it was a good episode. It explained a lot. We had a little bit of progression. Midoriya learned how to control All for One a little bit. We got the introduction, the official names of some of the characters: Iyazawa, Idia, Iraka, and the fucking frog girl. I read the manga. There's so many characters and everything, other than the few that stick out and everything. It's hard to remember all the superhero names and everything. But yeah. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, comment down below on exactly why you liked it, disliked it, and also comment on what you actually thought about the episode. Anime only viewers, what do you guys think of the first 5 episodes of Boku no Hero Academia, My Hero Academia? Share this with your friends to let them know what my opinion is on the episode and everything. Subscribe if you want to see all my other videos when they come out. And yeah, this is everything for this review. I hope you all have a very wonderful day, no matter what you guys decide to do. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Firefist Bacca signing out and saying bye-bye until next time. Woohoo!